All right, here we go. Keto test. It's about 50 hours in. It's about 2 hours after 42. So you dip it in and then you wait 15 seconds. I'm watching the timer over there. And we are there. So look at the color. Definitely in keto. No doubt about it. 48 hours. Hi there. It's Ron, the nutritional agnostic. It is I'm well into day 3 of my 4th week of water fasting in a row. Today I'm going to be walking down my street because I have a limited amount of time. I'm going on a trip tomorrow, packing, doing whatnot, so I have a less of window. So it is 10:10 a.m. on July 15th, and I am going to break the fast in a couple hours, which I'll be a good like about 66 hours into it, I think. I'll be chasing 72 hours. So I definitely did the keto strips last night, definitely in keto, and also, interestingly enough, this morning when I weighed myself, I hit a new record low that I haven't seen. I don't remember the last time I hit that particular floor, so probably in my 20s. So this is definitely working. I have energy and I'm dropping body weight, and of course I'm cleaning up like crazy with autophagy. So this is, for me, this is a panacea. This is the fountain of youth, I believe. Hopefully it will be for you too. It's been said for many, many, many people. So I would like to broach a topic that I actually brought up in my video yesterday, but I accidentally deleted the videos. Forgive the barking dogs if you can hear them in the background. I got a neighbor that doesn't take very good care of his dogs, and I'm trying to figure out what to do about that. In the meantime, I'd like to talk about those of you that are parents. I am not a parent. I am an uncle, and a very dedicated uncle. I have a niece and a nephew, and I love them very much, probably more than they realize I do. They're more important to me than they realize. I've tried to communicate that to them, but you know, young people don't always appreciate. Anyway, I want to talk to the parents, because your ability, potential ability, to influence your children in a positive way that will benefit them the rest of their life in regard to health is, I think it's underrated by a lot of people. Maybe not everybody, but I think enough people, because I see a number of parents, you know, in my experience, letting their children eat garbage and then themselves eating garbage in front of them, you know, and I'm not trying to persecute, but what I'm saying is that when I was growing up in the 70s, my parents really didn't have the information we have now. I mean, if they really wanted information, if they wanted to seek it out, if it was important to them, they could have. You know, for instance, I mean, you had one of my heroes back in their day, like Jack LaLanne, you know, and they could have valued that enough to do that. But, you know, of course, like all adults, parents, they did the best they could. But what I'm saying is that we have so much more access to information now, you know, with the world of the internet and you know, everything. So to me, there's less of an excuse to be ignorant right now, but there's still plenty of willful ignorance. So I'm just going to try to encourage parents to think about the legacy they want to leave their children. You know, it's nice, of course, you want to leave them, if you can leave them an inheritance or something, for those of you that can. I'm sure that's, you know, that's a noble goal. But to leave them the legacy of health and health habits, to me is, I can't think of anything really more important. Maybe there is, maybe being a good person and a decent moral human being, I guess, probably trump that. But short of that, man, you gotta, younger children, especially teens, if, they kind of just look at older generations in general as, okay, boomer, whatever, And so talking to them is not as effective as showing them. So, and the only way you can show them is with your own example. So, it kind of comes under the, be the change you want to see in the world. If you want your children to be as healthy as possible, and hopefully you do, hopefully this matters to you. If it doesn't, you really need to ask yourself, why not? And of course it goes for you too, but your life is your life, but they, especially when they're younger, are depending on you to teach them what matters. I just heard a frog chirp in the stream down the hill here from me. So if you can get control of your habits and demonstrate it, that's going to be the loudest thing you're going to do. I have tried to do that as an uncle. I have been, I did preach a little bit to my younger niece and nephew, but for the most part, I also walked the walk. I didn't just talk the talk. I ate salads in front of them, and I minimized sugar in front of them. Though again, I was not perfect. I had been through my own evolution as well, but I was very conscious of that. Fortunately, my brother, who's their parents, is health conscious as well. Not in the same brand and way that I am, but he is health conscious. He's in pretty decent shape. I'm probably, considered more extreme. But of course, anything that's outside the medical profession opinions is considered extreme, right? And now you have to ask yourself about why is that? I can't go into too much detail here because YouTube has a very heavy censorship again still, unfortunately. So I'll have to work around that. And but anyway, yeah, I encourage parents to really think about the legacy you're going to leave, and everything you do is watched by them, especially when they're young. So think about that. You're not just thinking about yourself on this. So if you can figure out your best health habits and look and live the part, then they will see you potentially as legitimate, and they may actually learn something and try to mimic you, which is great. Oh, so let me not forget the whole reason why I'm making this video anyway. So this is well into my third day, approaching 72 hours of the water fast. I did, as I said, I think I said, I did do the keto strips and verify I was in keto yesterday evening. And so this morning I did my final coffee colon cleanse. And then I just took some electrolytes and minerals before I went on this walk. So I'm continuing to let my body work for another couple of hours, and then I'm gonna break the fast and feed it with basically low glycemic keto, which for me will be 1 egg and some sauerkraut to start with, and then I will probably add an avocado a little later, maybe half an hour later, and after that, then I'll go back to adding a little bit of carbohydrate, because I have some watermelon that's cut up, and it's in the 80s these days here in Pennsylvania. So I'm gonna try to eat my watermelon. Now, as I said, I'm going on a trip the next day, so I have to try to eat up anything that's not going to last anyway, because I'll be gone for a few days. So I just reporting, 4th week in a row, hit a new record low body weight, and feeling fantastic. So if that's any kind of an indication, you know, as I say, we're all different. What I do is not going to maybe be perfect for you, but it should give you some indication, you know, that what I'm doing may be good for you. Because I am certainly not the first and won't be the last person to involve water fasting in my plan. You should, I recommend, as I do, use your body as your lab. Make informed decisions. Seek information from sources that you deem worthy. And I have recommended some sources that I like. I am a fan of Dr. Eric Berg, who's on YouTube. He's very prolific. I'm a fan of Dr. Andreas Kalker with a K. And I also used to be a big fan, and I still am an admirer, of John Rose. And they all have a different thing to offer. Dr. Berg is a natural healing chiropractor. Dr. Kalker, I believe, is a regular doctor, but he has a very particular niche if you check him out. Andreas Kalker. And then John Rose is a raw vegan, but he looks tremendously successful from the looks of him. So I would check out all those options. And on that note, you know, I, by my conscience, have chosen to not be a meat eater, although I've tried full vegan and I just wasn't successful at it. Probably my fault, I don't know, but at the moment I'm doing pescatarian, as they call it, which is wild-caught fish and eggs, and it seems to be working out just fine. So I'm not happy about killing fish, but I'm hopeful that the information I've heard, that the fish don't feel fear and pain the way land animals do, is a truth. You know, I just personally don't really understand why God made us need to kill other animals in order to live. And I don't necessarily believe that that's the case. I think there may have been some other factors, but that is a philosophical meandering that, you know, I can't prove anything. I just go with my gut and intuition, which is usually pretty strong, by the way. But anyway, that's what I'm practicing. So you have to make that decision for yourself as well. But either way, no matter what you choose as your staple diet, it seems, especially for us body types, who I call the insulin type, the type that can build muscle, you know, fairly easily, but we also will put on fat easily if we don't pay attention and manage it. And the best strategy that I have come up, and this is 63 years now of chasing the truth. I started in my 20s trying to research about nutrition, and back then I'm reading about vitamins and whatever. But because back then when we were young, we all thought it was all about what you ate. Well, it turns out that it's arguable that it may very well be about not eating more than eating as the panacea secret. Fasting seems to be the best. Sorry, a truck just drove by really fast on my road. So anyway, fasting, in my view and my conclusion, seems to be the best panacea. And the reason why is because the body intelligence knows how to heal itself. And of course, you know, all the usual disclaimers: this is not medical advice. You know, use your own discernment, check with your valued healer, physician, whoever you use. But I'm just telling you what my experience is and what a lot of other people's experience seems to be. I actually just saw, I think it was on Instagram, a friend of mine just shared with me, I think he was a regular MD doctor, talking about water fasting and talking about why he believes it's been shunned by the traditional view, because it's a threat. You know, if the body can heal itself, well, what do you need, you know, their medicines for, right? So, as everything else, check it out for yourself. But this has been my experience and the experience of lots of others. And if you listen to Dr. Eric Berg that I've talked about, he definitely will explain to you why fasting is such a benefit. Now, I know it's scary. If you've never done it, it's scary, right? Oh my God, I'm going to starve. It's totally understandable that you'd feel that way. But here I am, 4 weeks in a row of multiple day fasting. I'm not starving. I'm thriving. And you can too. You just have to, I think I've said this before, is that you have to mentally be committed. That's the secret. It's your own, you got to get past your own biases and your own fears, and the only way to get through fear is to go through it. Can't go around it, can't go under it, can't postpone it. If you're afraid, you have to face it. Nobody said it's easy, but I'm saying it's worth it. That's the difference. So, well, thanks for joining me. If I have any other last thoughts before my walk is over, because I'm about half done right now, I'll share them. But I don't want to ramble on for no reason, just to ramble. So I'll take a break and I'll be back if I have another thought. Okay, I do have another thought. So on the topic of walking, because I have been doing this every day now for months, and there is no shortage of videos by doctors and others talking about the incredible benefits of walking daily, as close as you can to daily. So I want to report from my own point of view. Since I've been doing this, I have felt an amazing difference, and the benefits are many. They are spelled out: circulation, digestion, mental clarity, everything. This is what we were designed to do. I know when we're young, those of us that are athletes, we thought we were designed to be superstar athletes and push ourselves to the limit, which looks great on a 20-year-old, but doesn't look so great on a 30 or 40-year-old when the joints or whatever start to fail. Depending on the sport. Fortunately, my sport I chose was hockey, which is not nearly as abusive on the joints as some other sports like football or even baseball, especially if you're a catcher. It really beats on your knees. So, but I just want to encourage you, go check out, just look up benefits of walking, like on YouTube, and you will find no shortage of videos. And if you can, even if you don't want to work out or whatever in the gym, which some people will argue that's not really necessary. I do, but I think I'm kind of reasonable about it. I do dumbbells, and I have some leg machines just to do some leg work, but my God, the walking really helps the leg muscles too. So just wanted to share that thought. Oh, and before I forget, not to mention the benefit of walking in the summer months, especially the vitamin D on your body. This is why I go shirtless, because I want as much sun soaking in to me as possible. So keep that in mind as well. All right, so let me conclude today's day 3 video by saying that the fasting works, but like everything else that you do, you're looking for behavioral change that can last. So for me, I am not going to stop fasting, because it does, as I say, it allows the body to heal. So I may not do 3 days anymore, or for a while, but I will definitely do at least 24 hours to 48 hours, maybe weekly. Because compared to the 3 or 4 or 5 days, it's way easier, and you still get significant benefit, especially if you can go the 2 days, 36 to 48 hours. You're still getting pretty significant benefit. You're getting some autophagy. As I demonstrated, you're not going to usually hit keto till close to 48 hours. As I've said, if you don't carb up before you start and you exert within the first 24 hours, walking, working out, whatever, while you still have glycogen, you'll deplete it faster, so you'll get to that keto a little quicker and you'll get more benefit out of that. So, but anyway, I have a commitment to doing this regularly. It feels great. I like it. I love giving my body the chance to truly clean out. And then when you do touch food again, it's so satisfying. You appreciate the subtleties of taste that you normally wouldn't. And so you are more happy with real food. And that is a very key thing, especially if you're like me and you were addicted to sugar. It helps to reset that. And if you keep telling the body, we're not going to do this anymore, we're going to keep cleaning and we're going to keep eating right, eventually it will start to accept that. That is an interesting thing about the body intelligence. It will respond. Just like the appetite. When you're fasting, when you first start fasting, especially the first day, the ghrelin hormone, which triggers your appetite, flows when it thinks you're supposed to eat. But if you suppress it and get past it, it goes away. And just a reminder that eating some good real salt, sea salt and whatnot, and taking electrolytes helps. It helps the body to get what it really needs, and it'll help with your cravings, it'll help with muscle soreness and all that. So okay, so I'll be in touch next time I have something to share, or next time I do a fast and I think it's worth sharing. So for now, thank you and good luck to everybody. Be well.